This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, it's like the board game Mousetrap, only played by the Spectre of Death. It's Final Destination. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Chris Cabination.
Eric Siska.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, this is a comedy show where we start with the seed of an idea that is a bad movie and then just go right off the fucking rails.
Grow a beautiful tree out of it.
This week's selection, Final Destination from the year 2000, directed by James Wong, who you may know as one of the big players on the X-Files. He wrote and directed a lot of the great episodes there. The Black Christmas remake, the third Final Destination, and previous episode, The One.
And Glenn Morgan also
Of X-Files fame. Was a producer on this? Did he also
Producer
write it?
and co-wrote it.
Yeah.
This is this movie, and we'll get into all of the parts of the movie.
Almost
all.
all.
Would
sure?
be
I don't
better
know about
as a episode of television, maybe an hour long.
Well, no, this is.
Yeah.
I read a piece of trivia that made forever. I've been trying to figure out what is wrong with this movie, and Eric's totally right.
Wow.
This movie was written as a spec script for an X-Files episode.
That's right.
And that would be so much better because A, it's an hour long, which is what you want.
Yep.
And B, you have a focus other than the kids and then you're focusing on sexy and paranormal investigators.
Right.
What exactly?
Instead of these schlubby detectives.
Exactly.
Oh, my Lord. These two cops we have in this movie, one of whom once portrayed Jay Leno.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Daniel Roebuck.
Yeah. I mean,
He's amongst the Sam Gerard's crew on The Fugitive.
Oh, yes.
He's
that's
one of
right.
them guys.
the movie you're talking about is The Late Shift,
The
right?
Late Shift,
TV
yeah.
movie.
Yep.
And the other guy is, I forget the actor's name, but he portrays Agent Shrek.
Yeah.
Agent
that's-
Shrek.
No, he's the other one. Agent Shrek's the one who's in all the Spike Lee movies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what Eric's
that's what
saying.
I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Agent Shrek.
Oh,
And
I
this
thought
is
you were talking about this guy.
2000.
Yes.
No, yeah, the guy who plays Agent Shrek was like Smiley and Do the Right Thing.
And the movie Shrek came out in the year 2001.
Uh-huh.
So I'm saying Final Destination has a tie-in
This
with
is
Shrek.
you trying to be Xenon again, isn't
By
it?
the way, it's not Shrek like the Mike Myers thing.
It's
He's
pronounced-
named after Max Shrek
But I mean,
because all
but
of these
it's
characters,
pronounced the shame. The shame.
all of these characters in this movie are either named after like famous directors or actors. So Max Shrek from Nosferatu.
Oh
Right.
no, here I am investigating sexual assaults.
Why'd you get off the plane?
One more question, please. You know, this is Agent Shrek. I
Wow,
get
like
into
a
it.
Shrek Columbo?
Yes, yeah.
One more thing. Can I use your fax machine?
And then an imp John Cassavetes is like his villain, I guess.
I'd watch that.
I thought you were going to go more towards like Agent Donkey.
Yeah,
Is the more like sensible one, thinks more about
Gotcha.
the science.
gotcha. This is shaping into something.
The Shrek Files.
Yes.
Oh, ew.
Puss in Boots could be Skinner.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Listen, I have finally washed the taste of Shrek 2 out of my fucking mouth. Please let's talk
Get
about
it
this
back in
stupid
there.
horror movie.
Get it back in.
Did anybody see this in the theater as I did?
No, I did
No.
not.
I
Oh.
don't think so.
I rented it on DVD after the fact also, which is the last time I saw this, so probably circa like 2001. But I saw this in the theater, and I'll tell you what, at the time, people were going ape shit.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Were
yeah.
people afraid?
No,
Were
but
people
they were having
scared?
fun. No, they were
They were having
laughing at it.
fun?
Total fucking roller coaster ride, this movie.
Really?
Eating it up. Every last second of this movie, people loved it.
That's a good movie.
I think this movie's pretty fun.
It is pretty
It's
fun.
got like it's got peaks and valleys for
Oh,
sure.
And a lot of valleys on top of that. And more valleys after that. And then a bunch of valleys.
Yeah,
It's a good idea for a movie.
Yes.
not movies.
No.
Somehow, though, it's 97 minutes feels like 197
It
minutes.
just runs out
Yeah.
of gas. It
Yeah.
runs out of gas is the problem.
If you don't know, this is the start of what became a pretty successful franchise about people who dodge death at one turn, but then death sneaks up on them and murders them hilariously.
Also
a few
known
days
as
later.
mortality.
Yeah, death with just looks like a gas leak in this movie. Like in the background, like, oh fuck, they left the stove on. Shit, get out of there.
It should be called Kitchen and Cars because
Yeah.
I did a rewatch of all these movies.
Wow.
And those are the main killers.
I do agree though, like the fact that like Ali Larter at the end of the movie, she's just back in a car. I'm like, I saw the car part earlier, guys. Let's figure something else out.
They should all live in a bubble at the end of this, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd
totally.
be cool.
Mhm.
You're constantly wearing like mittens everywhere, like you're just
Yeah.
obsessed with safety.
There's one episode of Batman the Animated Series when it's the Riddler episode where this guy,
The Riddler episode,
the first Riddler episode.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's he only was in one episode, is what you're saying?
No, he was in the first episode. They introduce him, and he's
Oh.
such a menace to this one guy. The last shot of this children's cartoon, I'll never forget it. It's like Batman's narrating, like, well, he did get off by screwing over the Riddler, but I don't think he's going to be sleeping very well. And it's this shot of this guy checking all over his house, and he's got a shotgun, and he sleeps in his bed with a shotgun.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. It rules.
That's why it's one of the best animated shows of all time.
But that's
if
what
not
I would
the-
do. I'd have a shotgun for death. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be moving from anywhere. I mean, like, I
Yes,
feel
yeah.
you'd be in the corner of a room not doing anything. After something like this, I mean, we see what happens to poor Devon Sawa towards the ends of this movie where he's just talking about God, I am a God, or God doesn't die.
Yeah.
And all that kind of
Goes-
fucking nutsack.
And so let me ask you this about the sequels, because Chris and Eric have seen them all. Steve and I just saw this one, and that's it. Do any of the other protagonists go like kind of crazy like that? Because that's an interesting part of the
man,
back half of this
dude.
movie.
Devon Swa. What was his name?
Sawa.
Devon
Sawa?
Swana? What did you?
Swana? Swoona?
Sawa.
It's flora and fauna.
Okay, so Devon Fauna,
Uh-huh.
he dies like off screen in part 2, I believe. Like
Yes.
someone's just reading a fucking website that says, "Hey, that kid died."
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
yeah, dude.
That's
what's
ass.
crazy is you could have brought him back for at least the second movie.
That's the cold open. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now we're doing
Yep.
something. You know,
That's because that's the cold open of Friday the 13th part 2.
yes, yeah.
Is Alice, I believe her name is, the survivor from the first film.
That's the movie.
fucking eats shit at the start of that movie.
Also, another great movie, Scream 3.
At what point in the series do they pass the torch to completely dead-faced actors?
I think number 2.
yeah.
Like,
we
I
still
know
had
You got-
Ali Larter.
You got Ali Larter, and
She's
then you
on the
have
bubble.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in the
She's
third
half
one.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, yeah, each film basically has a new cast, and it's just diminishing returns, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Although
that
the last one in 2011 was kind of fun.
4 and 5 don't have anybody in it.
That's
think.
what I was sort of looking through the listings because Mary Elizabeth Winstead is like a notable enough actor. She's the main part
David
of the third one.
Keckner's in the last one.
Oh, does he
Yes,
play
he is.
death?
No, he plays a dude that dies a lot, though.
By the way, Devon Sawa, previous episode. Does anybody recall?
Casper.
Yeah, he's the
Wow,
real life Casper.
Stay tuned for Idle Hands, though, right?
Oh, definitely. That's a
Right?
big deaf one. DEFCON 1 with
By the way,
idle hands.
Oh, he's in Little Giants.
Should we do that too? Should we put
Uh,
that?
He
in
might have been in one of
crosshairs?
those Mighty Ducks too. for all I
No,
know.
he was not.
I appreciate in this movie that you could see the makeup covering his acne
yes.
because it's like, thank God, finally representation for what I was.
He's he's a regular. That's the thing. Like, you know, he's good looking, but he's a regular looking kid. Like, you can
Yeah.
buy
Yes.
him being a regular looking kid.
Exactly.
And SLC Punk, he's in both of those movies, by the way. There's a second.
I know there's a
he's in that
second one.
second movie.
Yeah, he made it.
But
to the second.
when he doesn't die on a website in that movie.
So we open on the credits are kind of really boring. The funny thing about the credits is they're showing a bunch of like, it's really just him packing.
Well, it's
But they're also trying to make it spooky, so it's like, oh, should I take Death of a Salesman?
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
wow.
That's my favorite ghost story.
even before that, like I would understand after your first movie when you know all these little tiny things around the house can kill you. It's just a shot of a fan
Yeah.
and like a
What
shot
is-
of a bookcase.
What is with this fan, though? They go back to that
Ominous.
fan like 7 different times in this movie.
And nobody gets killed by a fan. We should say that right now. Nobody gets killed by a fan.
That's
it would
the better
make a
move.
little bit more sense.
Somebody
but
gets
no.
Indiana Jonesed by a fan.
Oh, fuck. That would be awesome.
Remember that big Nazi gets it by the propeller? It's amazing.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
about that at least once a month, of course. There's no way to unsee that. It's great.
What I do love about his room here, now that we're talking about objects in it, the Pecker poster.
I was going to
Pecker
say,
poster.
yep.
I was thinking, like, is this Chris Cabin's room? I know he's been doing that John Waters rewatch for the past
He's
few
back
months.
Well, also representation for me, a Big Buck Cherry poster right there, baby.
Yep. Oh, dude, you
All
better
for
believe
me.
it. I had that CD.
You got the Goo Goo Dolls are involved.
Oh, I didn't see that.
This is a room to end all rooms.
Yes.
I love that later in the movie, we can talk about it now if you want to, but it becomes a pornography palace for a second.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Maybe we'll talk about that when we get to it. So the basic gist of this movie, if you don't recall, from 19 years ago, it's a movie about a bunch of kids are taking a class field trip to France. They're going to Paris. It's like the French club or whatever. And Devon Sawa has a vision of the plane crashing and exploding or whatever. And he freaks out. A couple of them get off the plane. The plane crashes. They dodge death. And then they start being eliminated as if it's a slasher movie without a slasher.
And like usual, it's a fucking mother's fault because in the beginning,
Whoa.
he's like, leave the tag on
that's
my
right.
on my
Right.
Briefcase or whatever the fuck it is, my
briefcase.
roll pack.
Carry on?
suitcase?
Yeah.
Luggage. I mean, any of these words.
I mean, but I forget there's a specific name for those things.
take the tag off my box with wheels,
My pack. It's my pack.
lose sticker, pack no sticker.
But we can all point out that briefcase was very wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, briefcase was certainly
I don't know.
Oh man, Cabin.
Anyway,
Never go on password, all right?
I'm never going to.
Dude, did they bring password back?
No, I don't know. They
Oh,
should.
all right.
Maybe we
Oh,
should.
you know what? Nowadays, you got to fucking include a special character and a number.
Sorry, Chris.
Well, so Devon Sawa was like, "Don't take off the damn thing. It's like I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
It's a suspicious thing." She's like, "Fuck you," and takes it off anyway.
But the dad is also a fucking minister of creepery right here because they're giving him a big hug like, oh, you're going to have the time of your life. And this motherfucker goes, live it up, Alex. You got your whole life ahead of you. And Sawa looks like, the fuck did you say?
Is this a senior trip or is this just a trip to Paris?
No,
It's
I
a-
thought it was like a French class.
Yeah.
Right, French class. It's just If Looks Could Kill with
Right.
Richard
But
Grieco.
That's
it does
right.
seem like it's at the end of the school year, at
It's-
least.
yeah,
like
it
it
feels
seems
like
like
the
they're
summery kind of
pulling
thing.
out. And by the way, did you notice who plays his dad?
No, who's that guy?
Pusher from X-Files.
Oh, seriously?
That's his dad.
Oh.
Better. Oh no, Scully! These kids are being killed in a methodical fashion. I think the personification of death is coming after them.
Mulder, I keep having to tell you, Tony Todd is just a mortician.
And then at the end, it's like very clear that the Grim Reaper actually exists. But we're just gonna move on to the next thing. Like,
Yeah.
so many times at the end of those episodes, like reality has changed dramatically, and it never
yeah.
comes back up. Oh, vampires are around, but anyway.
Nope, it's just the monster of the week, Steve.
Remember there's a gargoyle in one episode, which was fun.
Of X-Files?
Yeah,
Oh,
the living gargoyle.
Well, they touched on all the monsters.
There's a Loch Ness Monster one.
yeah,
There's a great
Chupacabra
one, yeah.
shows up.
The Jersey Devil's in one.
Yeah.
Personally, he actually appeared.
I don't know, Scully. We can't go back to Jersey, or the Jersey Devil will get us.
Oh God, Scully, did you hear about this PewDiePie?
Oh my God!
He's out there in the Europe.
The Jersey Devil is actually a great episode because it's one of the classic, like, earlier on in the series where Scully's like, you know what, Mulder? This is really fucking stupid. I'm going back to DC. And most of the episode is Mulder just on his own because she's like, this one is too dumb even for me to handle.
You know what? I'm out. So yeah, he goes. We meet the rest of his class. Allie Larter is doing her best Ali Sheedy impression in this movie from The Breakfast Club.
Right, she's got her hair in front of her eyes. She's reading Tropic of Cancer, I believe. Or
Dude,
is it
that's
Tropic of Capricorn?
No,
I
it's
don't
Tropic
know.
of Cancer.
Uh-huh.
That's a try hard move. All right, like in front of everybody.
What does that mean?
You're walking and reading. Fuck you,
That's
asshole.
obnoxious.
You're just like, hey, look at the book cover. Ain't that smart?
Well, because look, that's like a super sexy book, so it's like kind of like,
Is it a
oh
sexy
man, this
book?
wouldn't be. This is they wouldn't even assign this in school, but they can't stop me from reading it outside.
Hold on a second. I didn't read this book.
Yeah.
Is it that sexy?
No, I mean,
like,
it's-
is it
it's
like
sexy
drop
for the
your
t-
pants quick?
No, I don't know how quickly you would drop your pants.
It's sexy enough that it's the book in the episode of Seinfeld with the book library
Right,
detective
yeah.
that Jerry took out, and Jerry makes a joke about like he took it out of the library because it was supposed to be like it had dirty
And
parts.
Erotic.
the coach with their teeth like the baked beans. Whatever.
Can't stand you.
That's right.
That's it.
But yeah, it's a
Oh,
try.
Mr. Bevilacqua. I don't need to know that.
it's a try hard move. Man.
What does that mean? I asked you already.
No, it just means you're trying too hard.
Oh, I thought it was one of
Yeah,
your like
it's-
millennial
I mean, it
phrases.
is.
that
Well,
you
it is, but
understand.
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It's the word
No,
said
he's,
faster.
he's just saying it because it's not just a playboy or
Yeah.
a playgirl.
We're
I
also
see.
trying to de-age ourselves because, we got a whole fucking audience here that needs to fucking stay with it.
I see.
And then you've got Dawson Creek's Kerr Smith as the bully.
This
named-
dude sucks.
named
Can I-
Carter,
can
a
I
tiny bully.
Could I quickly mention, after you mentioned the tiny bully, that there's a Hare Krishna at the airport? What is this, 1978?
Yeah, that's one of those things that hung around in movies where it was just like you could continue to make that joke that the Hare Krishnas were still hanging out at the airport as much as they did back
Yeah,
then.
and they hands out this literature that's like, death is not the end, reality beyond matter.
Oh wow!
And it's
Death
like,
is but a door, time is but a window. I'll be back.
it comes to nothing because now you say death is like not the end or something,
Right.
and I'm like, where are these ghost kids to advise us on how not to
No.
get hit by a board or whatever?
Yeah, that'd be something.
It'd be something.
Yeah, and it's so Kerr Smith is the tiniest bully there. His girlfriend is Amanda Detmer of Saving Silverman fame, I want to say.
Wow.
The lovely Sean William Scott is playing Hitchcock.
Billy Hitchcock. And I got to say this about Sean William Scott in this movie. This is a year after American Pie. And I didn't remember it this way, but it's a rare instance of he's playing a much gentler doofus than
Yes.
he normally does.
He's a geek. He's pretty much a
He
geek.
usually
is.
plays that aggro sex offender.
Right.
But in this one, he's not. He's kind of just a lovable dork that likes to ride his bicycle.
Yeah, like he's not doing the Steve Stifler thing. Yeah, he's just riding his bike through town. He's
got a
wearing
s-
like a New York Rangers jersey.
His voice is extra squeaky.
Mhm.
It's very interesting.
It's a performance. This Rangers jersey he's wearing is an ugly fucking jersey. This
with the
is a dark,
Statue of Liberty.
That's a
Yeah.
dark time in
Which
all
is
of sports
also-
jerseys.
We
Five-
still use it from time to time. It still gets brought out every now and again.
Also, kind of wrong of him to do because he should be wearing an Islanders jersey.
Yeah.
Because this is the one horror franchise, I think, that takes place almost entirely on Long Island.
Amityville.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But that's a real life event as well.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right, Mulder?
Did they have a bunch of Islander jerseys in Amityville horror? I haven't remembered.
That's right. The pig war.
Whatchamacallit, the elder Brolin there just fixing a car in a
James
in a-
Brolin.
James Brolin.
Well, that's what it is, dude. Remember, recall in the original Amityville Horror, the priest walks into the house to bless it and get the spirit out. The fucking demon sees that he's wearing a Rangers jersey, and that's when you hear the "Get out!" And then all those flies come in.
I'll tell you how you know that movie's from Long Island. If you ever watch the documentary My Amityville
Oh
Horror,
my god, that thing is a crock of shit. That movie.
What is this? What is this?
Oh, Steve, tell the audience what this movie is.
It's
This
the-
documentary.
it's
Is this a movie you made?
No, I didn't make the film. No, it's
Okay.
about the kid who survived the Amityville massacre, and him
Is he
basically.
in it?
Yeah, it's a
It's
guy.
his interview.
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
like-
him.
it's
Whatever,
just about
whatever Ronnie DeFeo
Yeah.
Jr. or whatever.
And those fucking Long Island accents, my friend.
Yeah.
Delicious. And they interview the woman who is played by Vera Farmiga in the Conjuring movies. That con
Elizabeth
artist.
Warren
Yeah.
or something?
no,
No,
not
Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
It might be. Not Elizabeth. Warren.
No. But
Ed,
they were.
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Lorraine.
It was
Warren.
Al. Fuck you.
Yeah, she's in it, and she's like totally batshit crazy at this point. Her house is full of roosters, and like they're like trying to interview her, and then she's like, "Oh, this is Frick, and this is Frack," or something. She's like, "They're identical twin."
Yeah.
Identical twin roosters.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Oh, and also,
Those,
it's
by the
not,
way, those people were con artists.
Yeah.
By the way. If you're ever wondering, the Conjuring series is based on con artists.
Lorraine Warren. Yeah. No, and it wasn't. Ronald DeFeo was the father, but he was like the stepdad, I think. The son it was Daniel Lutz.
Let alone.
Or no, wait. Ronald DeFeo, I think, was the murderer.
Okay.
That's what it was. And then it was the George and Kathy Lutz. And then so
Wait.
the son is Daniel Lutz.
Hold on a second. I think the president's on line 1.
Oh, go ahead, scumbag.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Elizabeth Warren's parents were con artists. They were involved in all sorts of supernatural crucifixes. Those roosters aren't even twin brothers.
We have to close the demon gates.
And there's twin brother. Speaking of identical twin, identical twin. I don't know if they're twins. One's an older
Oh,
brother.
I think they're just bros.
One is this kid who's like basically Vinny from my cousin from Doogie Howser.
Yes, he
My
very
cousin
much is.
Doogie Howser.
My cousin. I got it mixed up.
Okay, I'm just saying it happens to both of us.
But it's him, and then from Roswell, it's Brendan Fair. Not to be mistaken with his brother on that show, Jason Bear. The Bear and Fair connection.
I am lost
I
in the
actually,
woods.
I am lost too.
Wait, this is the show Roswell?
The show
Somehow
Roswell.
I know less than before you started talking.
We're now all dumber for listening to these.
You are. No, but the lead on that show
There was a
is-
bear in Roswell?
Okay,
the lead
so-
on the show's real name was Jason Bear, Behr. This this actor's name in this movie, who's also on Roswell, who plays his brother, is Brendan Fair, Fehr. Totally strange.
Mulder,
Oh,
that's
right.
impossible.
Do you have like a cork board with red ties
Yeah,
going
oh,
every
dude,
which way over
Bear and
this?
Fair, I've never been able to figure it out.
One was Max and one was Mike.
That's right.
Oh shit!
I never watched a second of that
They're
show.
both aliens. In that.
Didn't they bring that show back?
They did. Nobody watched it.
Is it like a reboot or is it like a swackle?
I just made my shoulders went all the way up over to my
Yeah.
ears because I have no idea.
So yeah, we're checking in at the airport and he, is nervous about flying as it is. And he's starting to see all these like coincidences. Like, well, first of all, he checks his bag. We see a close up on the ticket. This is very cheesy. The sticker on the suitcase says Final Destination right on it. His birthday, the woman at the counter points out, is the same as his departure time. It's like, you know what?
Dumbest thing ever.
Just stop.
She would never point that out. You think
Nope.
she gives a fuck about
No
your
way.
birthday, loser? Fuck
Oh,
you.
and what's this? We call the plane Alex, and that's your name. That's interesting. Holy shit.
All right, everyone, get on board, Alex.
Get on board, Alex.
Alex is going to be riding inside Alex tonight.
Actually, one time that happened to me at the airport. I was coming back from Chicago.
Got on
Here's
the
a-
Steve flight.
No, it was my birthday whilst I celebrated my birthday with some friends in Chicago, and my ID expired whilst in Chicago because it was my birthday, and I kind of didn't realize that until it was too late. So I was like, "Oh fuck, it'll be fine if I have an expired thing." The security guy on my way back to New York grabbed my ID, looked at it, he checked it. He's like, "Happy birthday. Renew your fucking ID," and he gave it back to me.
Man.
What?
Yeah, dude.
He used profanity?
Oh, absolutely. He was
Welcome
annoyed with
home.
me. He was annoyed with me. He was really annoyed.
Speaking of Chicago, we'll be performing there on June 16th.
That's right. There's two incredibly tasteless incidents in this movie. The first one is around here where he's like freaking out looking at things. Someone has a newspaper and it's just fucking the crash footage from Princess Diana's car accident.
Yeah.
What on earth does that need to be in this movie
Wait,
for?
the newspaper has footage on it?
A photograph, rather.
Okay.
He's just hung up on the Elizabeth Warren thing still. Just let him go.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm angry that I messed that up. I mean, it happens to the best of us.
It's like all these cheap fucking moves to be like, did you know that something bad could happen?
Well,
Do you have any idea that something
Yeah.
bad could
This
happen?
movie-
Crash.
This movie is so disrespectful to the estate of John Denver. It's like,
Yep.
it's like really,
Oh, wait, so that makes three, actually.
yeah,
But yes.
because it's just like, it's kind of a running motif. Everyone's like, "Ooh, I love John Denver." It's like, oh, that's the portent of death because he died on a plane crash.
There are at least 2 scenes in this movie where right before someone expires, Rocky Mountain High is playing.
Great song.
Great song.
But
Really
like,
good.
there's definitely a line though where someone's like, John Denver, oh yeah, he died in a plane crash. And you're like, what the fuck?
That
What?
would
Also-
again. That would maybe make sense if you didn't also have the Princess Die thing. If you didn't also have the Final Destination thing.
And go back, it was the nation was still reeling from John Denver's passing at this point. It was a more innocent time. Let's go back to the Big Bopper. That guy died in a plane.
Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got plenty.
Richie
of
Valens,
bops.
they were all on the same plane.
It's
Oh
just-
my God! Just La Bamba is playing like eerie La Bamba.
hauntingly playing Obama.
like they slow down all the songs now for the trailers. Yeah.
Actually, what they should do, get either, because he did it they used a cover of his in, I believe it was House on Haunted Hill, the Marilyn Manson Eurythmics cover.
Oh, of
Sweet Dreams. Get Marilyn Manson to sing
La
fucking
Bamba?
La Bamba, dude. Do it.
The worst one is at the beginning of Justice League, them doing the slow down Everybody Knows by Leonard Cohen.
Oh, please!
How could you even get slower?
Well, if you want to be really on the nose, I think Buddy Holly has a "That'll Be the Day When I Die" song.
Oh.
That'll be the day you make me cry.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
It would just
That'd be
the
great.
trailer would just be a bunch of shots of people ominously walking towards things.
Yes,
and
or-
then la 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 bamba.
Dude, you slow it down and you get little kids to sing it.
Ooh.
And on the soundtrack, there's like someone's playing a triangle.
This would be like the new Mad World that
Yes.
cover.
Oh,
Exactly,
yes. Yep, exactly.
Gary Jewell, you hack.
Oh my God. So yeah, there's another tasteless thing coming up in a
But
minute.
so basically, his friend, who's his kid, Todd, not Brendan Ferry, Brendan Ferry's brother.
you see
brother.
you notice the dumb little writing thing with this kid's name.
The name Todd. Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It's Todd, but it's with one D. Todd, German for death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, stupid town, dude. Population in this movie.
And he's like, hey, I'm the only guy who's trying to do a New York accent in this movie.
It's one
Let's
of
go
those things.
take his shit. Let's go take his shit.
Let's
you
talk
and
about
me
this.
need to take. Listen, you don't want to be when Becky Frampton goes into the bathroom after you're on the plane. You don't want her to smell your shit.
He actually said, this is the way he first describes it. He's like, hey, Devon Sawa, I got to go talk a wicked cable. What? Just so you got to take
You
a
have
shit?
to shit next to me in a stall.
Yeah.
Dueling shits in this movie.
Because I might have to take a shit or you might have to take a shit at some point in this airplane. Then
Well, that's-
then a woman would enter it and not want to have sex with you. Who thinks like this?
Also,
horny 17-year-old kids who are about to spend the
And
summer in
that's
Paris.
why they don't get laid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think it's bad when you're pissing next to someone talking.
yeah.
If I'm shitting in an airport bathroom,
Nope.
keep your
Nope.
mouth fucking
Dude,
shut
yeah.
or I will kill you.
I don't want people to hear my little stalagmites and bites to go bloop, bloop, bloop. Like,
Dude,
no.
if I have to fucking drop trow in an airport, you better believe AirPods are in.
Yeah.
I'm blaring
Oh,
something.
yeah, dude, you got to put something on, yeah.
Because I don't want to hear myself. I don't
wanna
want to hear
put
others.
AirPods on other people because I am fucking going to town.
You don't know what it's gonna. A drum solo could be coming out your ass. You don't want to know about.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Pompeii.
Speaking of Marilyn Manson, whenever I take a massive shit, I put on The Beautiful People. Ah.
I always put on the dope show, so that's interesting. I have more of a glam rock feel.
Where now in the
That's the poop show.
Wow, what a great remix.
this is when he listens to. He's like, oh wow, John Denver.
Yeah,
I was like,
great.
he died. But that's the thing too. Is like, if it's just John Denver, it's like, that's kind of ironic, and let the audience fill that in. But he has to look at the camera and be like, he died in a plane crash.
Because you are making this movie for 16-year-old
Yeah,
and
that's
17-year-old
true,
kids
that's
to go see, and unless you're a fucking, nerd like me, you don't know who John Denver was, really. I mean, you were like, all right, maybe you saw him on like the Muppet Show or something.
or that great line in Dumb and Dumber. That John Denver's full of shit, man.
So we're getting on this plane, and there's another horrendous line right here where they're talking, like they get on the plane and they walk by a woman in a first class that has a baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
And is it the jock right here?
No, it's Brendan Fair. It's like his only line. The kid
Todd's
from Roswell.
brother.
Yes.
Okay, so he's like, oh, good, there's a baby on here. Would have to be a really fucked up god to make the plane go down with a baby on here.
Not when we're. I'm not a nervous flyer. I'm not. I'm really not. But you just don't talk about that in an airport,
No,
or
you just-
specifically not on the plane.
Well, like babies dying?
no,
Or-
just the plane
Going down. Like,
Yeah,
you just don't talk about it. And then he looks, and from the baby to he sees a disabled man, like being helped getting buckled into his seat, and he goes, a really fucked up god. Man, just your movie can be 96 minutes. Thank you.
I kind of wanted him to keep going with that Kevin Federer line. Oh, he would never be. They're not taking him. That'd be a fucked up god.
Nobody gave a shit about Kevin Federline in the year 2000.
President fucking Clinton. No, there's no way this is going down.
Jimmy Carter's in the plane too. Oh, I can't wait to go to Paris.
I did not,
I think the specter of death's following us.
I did not buckle that woman's seat. I buckled my own seatbelt.
Can you define buckle?
It'd be amazing. if
Mother
you
Teresa's on this plane.
had one active president about to leave office, and then other presidents. Mother Teresa. I mean, this is.
It's a pretty
It'd be a
important-
really fucked up god.
It's like Air Force. What's better than one?
negative. No, that'd be less.
Air
than-
Force Year Zero.
Yeah, zero
Yeah, I
would be
guess so.
something.
You know what I was jealous of in this movie right here at this part? Sean William Scott's eating. He's got a huge carton of Whoppers. I
Oh,
was
wow.
jealous.
Yeah,
Like
Well,
a good malted milk ball.
the character.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a bunch of hamburgers.
No, I mean,
I
that
thought-
also
I
would have
thought
been
you were
cool.
talking about breasts. Look at
Yes,
these
he's
fucking
eating breasts.
Look at these fucking Whoppers on this guy.
I don't think you shouldn't. It's happened once before. Someone actually brought McDonald's onto a plane once and
They
ate
should be kicked off.
Yeah.
Where is the Sky Marshal?
Seriously, they should fucking shoot this guy.
Take your little leg gun and fire.
Well, people like will go in the terminal and buy food and then just haul it into the plane.
Yes, exactly.
Fucking pieces of shit.
Not
Those
hot
are the
food.
real terrorists.
not hot food.
Also, regular terrorists
Yeah, they're all-
are also the real.
Yeah, I mean, I
terrorists.
think the real terrorists edge them out just slightly on the heinous senator.
They tend to bring their homemade food though.
Yeah.
So
Wait, but are you saying you were on a flight and this
Yes.
happened to you?
Yes, oh, yeah.
And he used like a box cutter to cut the fucking Big Mac.
Oh my god! No, he did not.
Okay.
What was the food situation?
It was just like a hot, disgusting like sandwich that was like smelly. That was just kind of on the plane.
like this. Another reason why you get to the airport early so you can get a meal in
Yeah.
if you have a long flight.
Yeah.
Because fuck you bringing hot food on a plane.
Anybody here a nervous flyer?
No.
No.
Cabin, really?
Chris
I
Cabin
don't like
raised
it.
his arm, forgetting it was a podcast.
I mean, it's for the room, but
Did
yes,
this movie
I
freak
don't
you out
like
a little
it.
bit?
You don't
No.
like it, okay?
I mean, I just don't like. I mean, like, I really do. I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm
really
usually
the-
so doped up on all sorts of stuff, man. I don't even know when we take off.
I like whiskey. You know, you
Yeah.
get in early. I don't care what time it is, and they don't either. And I just start drinking.
the airport, there's no time. The only you have to pay
Yeah.
attention to the
It's
numbers on the
timeless.
clock
It's
because
timeless.
that's when your plane's going to leave.
Yeah.
But time doesn't exist in an airport. You
Sure.
can be drinking at 6:00 in the morning and
Mhm.
nobody says anything. There was one time, it was on a flight to Chicago, actually. I asked for a Bloody Mary and the dude gave me like the fucking can of tomato juice, like just the mix or whatever. And I was like, and the vodka. And he gave me a dirty look. And I was like, fuck you, dude. You just give me my fucking alcohol. You charge me and you shut the fuck
Whoa,
up.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Time doesn't exist in airports. Why aren't we just living there? We can fucking live forever.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's a great idea.
That sounds like a great idea.
That's the plot of the movie The Terminal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you just be eating fucking ketchup packets.
Oh yeah, they got Whoppers in there too.
They do.
I return the cart. I get quarter. I buy ketchup packet. I live forever.
That movie's fucking stupid.
My name is Robert Terminal, or whatever his fucking name was. I guess
It
it
is
was
Robert
Russian.
Terminal.
It's a sequel, like it's the year 2255. It's still Tom Hanks. Like, I've only aged 6 years.
Oh no, dude! You call it Terminal 2049.
Yes.
Yeah, and now like Ryan Gosling's a flight attendant, but is he? Is he human? I don't know.
and he saved up a bunch. Now he can eat relish packets.
Oh God, relish. relish. Relish is bad enough, but in a packet, my God.
I haven't had relish in a long time, but I think I'm okay with it. I'll allow
Really?
it.
I'm
Yeah.
pro.
I'll go through relish phases.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
Phases of relish.
Yeah, like you just do like, oh, look, I'll have relish 3 times in 7 months, and then I'll never again for 5 more years.
What place on your pickle cycle are you now?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Steve Zanek's pickle cycle.
It depends on the moon.
So the plane takes off, and we have to witness a quite horrendous fucking plane emergency.
I
slash
love this
death
because
sequence.
we get the fire licking Devon Sawa's face.
Sawa.
What did I say?
Saliva.
I liked mine better.
I mean,
I'm sure he would appreciate if you said his name correctly.
just listen.
He's a very nice Canadian.
Listen, Devon, Botswana.
Okay.
Wait, no, that's not it.
No, it's not. It's
It's
Devon
just Swana.
Sar.
It's
No.
Wawa. It's like the grocery
Yes,
store.
there. That's wait, no.
Bava.
Yeah, Mario Bava.
This is why normal folk like me couldn't say his name, so therefore he never became a bigger star.
Yes, that's one of the reasons. Yeah, but it's kind of it is horrific. It takes a while. It's pretty well shot. It's the most effective part of the movie where you're like, oh shit.
It is.
I mean, it's a little outrageous. Like, I feel like this plane would just explode. Like, everything starts happening.
You've got people getting sucked out the side. You've got one person definitely goes through a jet engine because there's a blood splatter.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know what happened. I just thought I saw a guy throw a bucket of red paint against a plain wall.
Oh, did
and
you
I was
see-
like, I don't know what just happened to whoever.
Because this girl, like the teacher, the female teacher who's a character in this movie, is like trying to hold on to this girl's hand.
Oh, she's a character in the movie.
Well, she's a bigger character.
Okay.
She's one of the survivors.
Not a documentary, no.
No, she was the woman from Millennium. Speaking of X-Files stuff.
I would have you waterboarded me. I would have been like, oh, it's Carla Gugino in this movie. It's Carla Gugino in this movie. It's Carla Gugino in this movie.
Yeah, no, it's sort of a lookalike situation. This is Kristen Cloke. Is the woman's name. Yeah.
And she, whatever. A lot of stuff happens. Yeah, you do get to see flames. It's Kruger Town a little bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really starts burning up and looking like Courtney Cox. Oh, Kruger. I thought you said Cougar Town.
And it's Devon, not Devin, right?
Yeah, I would say Devon.
I think it's
Sawa.
Devon.
Is it
Sawa.
Devon?
Yeah, it's Devon.
With an I?
No.
No, she say
With an O?
You can say
Yes.
Devon
Oh,
with an
fuck
O.
this name.
What's your feeling on Eric with a K at the end there?
I'm actually against it because it's like a natural adversary for me.
Because it's not like my name. It's
Yeah.
spelled differently.
That's me with a V, man. Fuck you, dude. Steven.
My middle name is Steven with a V.
The fuck you, dude.
So we're
That's-
natural enemies.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to get into my whole, grudge with Chris Christopherson, but
dude, the K.
The- okay,
Get
yeah,
out
the
of town
K,
with a K.
K Chris is, even I'm against that.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about tryhards. I mean, Christ on the cross.
And listen, if anyone's listening who has names like any of the ones mentioned, we're
go
just-
to hell.
No, we're having fun. We're joking around. It's totally fine to have a name, including Colby. I'll say it. I'll say it now, including Colby.
Do you think Chris Christopherson changed the spelling when he became a musician? Like it was originally like CHRIS and then Christopherson with a K, and he was like, it would be cool, chicken shits of the music industry, if I was double K.
Well, you listen here. I gotta romance myself a Bette Midler soon.
Yeah, I saw that remake. It's a bunch of horse hockey. Taking your own life against the Lord like that.
At least my character had the decency to die in a car accident.
I'm sorry.
Like a man.
It was the first Final Destination movie.
It took too much peyote. That wasn't Bette Midler. That was Barbara Streisand. Damn, I thought I had them both.
Yeah, totally. Bette Midler was nowhere to be found.
So yeah, but then he wakes up, and also there's some seat switching business where there's 2 sexy girls that want
right.
to sit next to each other, and this is when Todd's like, "No, bro, don't fuck this up for me. I'm sitting next to this girl."
He tells this girl that he has a urinary tract infection in order to not give up his seat. Like, this is going to be attractive.
Blame the 90s movies on this because those
Oh,
two
yeah.
boys
Yeah.
think they're going to join the Mile High Club on this fucking thing.
Oh,
too.
man.
they are.
That's what they
Fucking
think.
Mile High
They
Club.
saw, they saw American Pies.
He's got Devon Sawa's haircut in this movie is horseshit. This haircut is really bad.
It's the
a
same
bad
thing as the
haircut.
foot in the crotch thing. Like it
Yes,
was just
yeah.
something we were believed that was gonna happen to you, but never did.
That's true.
That's true.
Wild high school sex. What a
I-
fucking myth.
Lived my entire life up until now thinking that at one point a sexy lady would rub my crotch with her foot, and it never happened.
Never happened.
Never did. Never will.
And it never will.
There's
Yeah.
one for the X-Files.
Mulder, I'm going back to the office.
No, Scully. All these men are ejaculating after women place their socked foot on their genitals.
Scully, I guess you never saw Gremlins 2, the new badge.
That doesn't happen, Mulder.
Scully, look at these lists of the last couple of decades. You know how many men have gotten off with a foot in their crotch? 3 in 3 decades. It's just not normal.
They all paid for it, Mulder. They all paid for it.
It reminded me, he's pulling this line about like I got to sit on the aisle because I got a UTI.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that episode of Kerr last season where June Diane Raphael says that she's got like a bad bladder problem and she needs to sit on the aisle. So Larry like switches with her and they're doing like a New York to LA flight and she doesn't get up the entire time. Oh, it's fucking great.
That's pretty awesome. There is so he wakes up from this dream and like all of the same sequence of events that happened right before they take off happen, and he's like, oh shit, I just had a prophecy. And he's like, I gotta go off the plane. He's freaking out.
A lot of sweating right here, a lot of head sweat.
And then tiny bully Kerr Smith is like, Carter, sit down. Like I don't like a control bully. You know, you want to bully somebody that's a nerd.
Well, aren't they all control bullies?
Yeah, but it's like follow the rules, follow the rules.
Well, that's the thing.
That's true.
Browning, he's calling him.
He's being a nerdy bully, man.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
a bully would not care if someone else was breaking the rules. What kind of bully tells someone to follow the rules?
Well, yeah, he'd think it'd be badass. Yeah, fucking ground this plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking do it.
I don't want to go on this stupid Paris trip anyway. Fuck it.
So he gets up and he starts getting in his face, starts shoving him. His girlfriend gets up, and the pilot's like, everyone who's in the aisle has to get off the plane, which includes both teachers, all these kids,
Which is pretty stupid and arbitrary.
yes, it is. And then one, basically, what you would call it, Brendan Fair goes to his brother. He's like, hey man, go check on our boy there, make sure he's okay. Which I would be like, fuck that kid. That kid's that's what parents are for. I'm going to Paris.
Well, I think it's because you're supposed to believe the three of them are like closer buds than normal because like their dad gives Devon Sawa's character a ride to the airport.
That's true.
So it's like maybe they grew up together kind of a thing.
And they and then Ali Larter is like, rightfully so, is like, I'm totally freaked out by this event.
Yeah.
He's like, the plane's gonna crash. And like everyone's like, oh my God. Like, no, it's not everyone.
It's amazing to me that anybody stays on this plane.
I would be very and so she gets off too, and they get off. Now they're in the terminal. Basically, the one of
Ketchup packet?
No, I'm fine. We were just dodging death. Thank you, though.
Okay. We go back to hall now.
Do you want me to play matchmaker with you and that lady over there?
You want to kiss that lady?
I'd like to watch you kiss her. Is it okay? I live in the terminal. I watch people kiss each other.
If I do this for you, will you do it to Catherine Zeta-Jones so I may watch and masturbate?
Oh,
I
Kevin.
watch you all kiss each other. Go into the bedroom, give each other kisses.
I drink water from toilet.
It's the same. He's got a beard down to his knees.
Yeah, it's like half Castaway, half Terminal.
It's okay. It's just me, Victor Navorsky, watching you kiss. It's fine.
Did you just look up that name?
I did.
Of course you did.
That's
No one
right.
would remember that.
I was trying to think of it.
It wasn't Robert Terminal, turns out.
No. Bobby Terms.
They call me Bobby Turn. Kiss him. You give him a kiss.
It looks like your flight is delayed. Maybe you kiss for a little while. You have time.
With your lipstick, it looks like you eat ketchup packet. Kiss, kiss.
I help Catherine Zeta-Jones build fountain in terminal. Or some shit, whatever happened in the movie.
Oh, she smell like ketchup packets.
One time, my wife and I were on the west side by the river there, just kind of looking out. There's a bunch of little areas you can kind of do that on, and you're looking out at the river. Look, we're very early in our relationship.
Hudson River.
Hudson River, they call that.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, oh, I'm shooting, and this guy was legit shooting a video for like some stupid rap thing he was doing, and the photographer was like, "You mind I take your picture, the two of you?" And we're like, sure, whatever it is. He's like, okay, why don't you hold hands? And I was like, okay. And I hold his hand. We're holding hands. Like, it's good. Now you give it a kiss. I'm like, no, dude, we're not doing that.
Hey, before I take a picture, kiss her.
Why did you do nothing with your fingers? Do something with your fingers.
Oh, yes, take off pant. I put on video mode.
How about you put foot in crotch? Very popular American pastime.
So they're all freaking out. They're all yelling at each other. This tiny bully wants to go after Devon Sawa. They're trying to fight each other. I think Devon Sawa specifically says, "I wish you got on the plane, which will crash."
Right.
They're arguing.
Allie Larter, I think, screams at the bully. He's not a witch,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny.
And whatever, the plane does crash.
Kaboom!
Nice.
Explodes.
Love it.
Poor Professor Murnau gets burned up.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
he's like
Right, him and JFK Jr.
Vincent Fuchsia, please.
So
yeah.
that's, and then like that the thing is like, oh my god, and I don't even know. I mean, I feel like if you're Devon Sawa's character, I mean, I know this is pre 9/11. This kid wouldn't see sunlight for months. Like this kid
No.
would be
Gitmo.
No way.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just like, I don't know what this kid is. We are locking it up until we figure out what the fuck happened with this plane. They kind of just give him a bunch of questions and he leaves.
You got any of those underground prisons? We're gonna put him in one of those. That's where we.
We may have this is year 2000, by the way, so we may have a full-on X-Man mutant on our hands here.
You got one of them Magneto prisons you can put this kid in.
One of them there plastic prisons.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
You got a little too much iron in your blood, Steve.
It's a great line.
Second movie.
And he's basically, they're asking everybody what's going on, and like everybody kind of goes through their thing. This one we Agent Shrek and Agent Donkey. No, we don't.
No, it's an actual donkey and an actual Shrek.
An actual Shrek.
When we're done with this tragedy, I'm gonna make waffles.
Well done.
So there's a big like interrogation montage of everybody's like, Devon Sawa didn't do anything. I think this is actually where Allie Larter tells these two dudes that Devon Sawa is in fact not a witch. Thank you for clarifying.
And then everybody's parents comes and rushes them out, and everyone's really excited, except for Allie Larter, who went stag to this tragedy. By the way.
Yeah, we hear why later on, dude.
I missed it. I just thought a van down by the river type living for her.
No, she's got a.
She's got a house.
I don't know what her deal is. I mean,
I think she's probably living with like an aunt who wound up on a deleted scene.
yeah, that would make some sense.
What kind of kids own in a house?
That's what I mean. I don't understand it.
There's got to be somebody.
So everyone, we cut to a month later, and we're at this memorial for all the kids who
Giant
died.
metal eagle statue for this
Yeah.
tragedy. Pretty cool.
I think that's probably like what the school's mascot was. They were going to build that anyway for the basketball team.
Yeah,
Yeah, just carving some names on there, huh?
I was gonna say, is this an express fucking order? How did you decide all of this?
No, that's. I think Steve's totally right. It was going to originally have the basketball team's winning record on it.
Oh, man. Good thing this wasn't my high school, so it wasn't a giant Indian.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, dude. I had the Indians.
Did they
Yikes.
fix that or no?
They tried to, and then people protested the attempt at fixing it.
Of course, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it's
Well, you know why? It's about heritage, dude.
I guess.
High school heritage.
We now unveil this memorial statue of a football with the school's name on it for the dearly departed that left us last month. Look, guys, we did what we could. Okay, we did what we could.
And of course, the honor of their memory. There's a beautiful sound bite when you walk by the sensor on the statue. You can hear John Madden yelling "Touchdown!"
Sure, they might have lost their skins, but we've gained a pig skin today.
Yes. I know it looks like all their names are just there in Sharpie, but trust me, we chiseled them in there with precision. We paid a lot of people to do this.
It says 18 and 0 on it because 18 was the median age of all the deceased, and 0 for how many days they have left on the planet.
And yes, the coach is on there because he's a great guy, and he took it the hardest. Really, the coach is devastated.
He dug all their graves.
So yeah,
I want to say, I have to point out though, because it's the last like disgusting fucking thing, like this exploitative thing we're using in this movie. It's a high school from Long Island. This is a crash going out of JFK. The footage that they use for the crash footage where they're watching the news in this movie,
JFK Jr.?
it's actual flight footage from TWA Flight 800.
Wow.
Which is crazy because they're like, oh, this movie was sort of inspired by that. Like, well, yeah, then you can't fucking set it in Long Island then.
Yeah,
like, you know
no
what I mean?
way,
Like,
man. This needs to be, we're in California and somebody's fucking going to Japan.
Exactly. You cannot just do this thing again.
Was Ryan Gosling on the TWA flight and said, there's going to be a crash? I mean, what do you mean they were inspired by this? They were inspired by a crash?
The idea of a plane crash, I guess.
Oh, that's a new idea.
Well, also because Chris Cabin,
It happened to
TWA
him-
Flight 800, it was going to Paris. There was a French club from a high school. on the
Really?
plane.
Oh, I did not know
Yes.
this.
Yeah. Oh, this movie's abhorrent in its inspiration. It's absolutely abhorrent.
But yeah, well, the thing is, it's like, oh my God, how shocking was that plane crash? Because it happened to American people. Meanwhile, they're fucking going down across the globe nonstop. Did we ever find that Malaysian plane?
I think we found enough to be like,
I didn't find it. I didn't find it on the headlines.
I think we found enough to rule out a Bermuda Triangle type situation.
did we, Scully?
But yeah, so you're seeing actual fucking crash footage from TWA Flight 800. It's abhorrent.
That's pretty cool. At least it's realistic.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap too.
At this memorial service, they all like get in line to put flowers on the football team's. I'm sorry, the dead students' memorial statue. And this dude Carter gets into it with Devon Sawa quite a bit because they're all like pretty much blaming him, even though there's no real proof or whatever. And he fucking yells out at a memorial service for deceased high school students, "I'm never gonna die."
I was really waiting.
Winners! I'm 18 and 0, bitch.
I was waiting for a record scratch after that. Like the whole place goes dead.
It's such a fucking douche chill, dude.
Unlike all of their sons and daughters, I am going to live forever. Do you hear me?
By the way, I lived. They died.
That baby we saw, dead. Me, alive.
Pretty fucked up.
Man,
God.
if my kid dies in this high school trip, I'm not going to this thing.
Yeah, totally not. Like, I'm done. You know, it's fine. I
Yeah,
don't need
exactly.
I don't know.
I don't
that
think we with
there's-
mixed company.
I wouldn't let my kid go either. Like if they survived through clairvoyance or not, I'd be like, no, it's
Oh.
okay. Don't go to this fucking memorial service where some asshole's gonna scream and shit.
I thought you were going to say you were going to allow the fucking body of your son to be at this memorial.
Listen, dude, the fucking finger they found cannot come. The coach is gonna get a spoon out and bury it.
I put it in an Altoids can here.
The teacher's like, you scare me because she, dark magic is involved.
Well, because she also has an extreme feeling of guilt right here because both of the teachers got kicked off the flight, and then she says to the dude, "Hey, man, you're actually fluent in French. You get back on there. I'll take the next plane." So she feels incredibly guilt-ridden.
Allie Larter gives this kid a flower. She's like, "It's you're the reason I'm still alive, and I want to give this to you."
Which is the way they should all be looking at it, by the way.
Also, I want to S your D. That's kind of what we're talking about.
S&D big
Wow.
time, dude.
I mean, he is a freak though. Like
Yeah,
this
no,
is like
yeah.
a fucking weirdo that probably should get his head
All of them
bashed
should
in
S
with a
his
rock.
D. The teacher,
No.
Kerr Smith,
Why?
his Todd, everybody. He's only alive. He's kissing my hairy beanbag right now.
Fuck that.
Steve is right. Kiss
No,
the beanbag.
No. For all we know, just like Shrek and Donkey suspect, possibly this kid could be involved in some way to bringing down this plane.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. You know
So
this
you think this is-
loser from your high school. You know whether or not he's capable of bringing down a flight.
Let me think. Loser from my high school, and yeah, no, I'm not going to S his D.
If he's responsible for you living,
Do you
You better
think
ask that D,
Do you think
dude.
I want to live?
Yo, you got to kiss the beanbag, man.
Look, I'm not
I don't
against.
think so.
I'm not against this perspective. I would not say that at the memorial.
Yeah, probably.
I would
not.
just think about a better time.
Hey Carter, S my D, dude.
Right, like so. Every time everyone comes up to say something at this memorial service, they have to ask his beanbag.
Did
No,
you?
you S the D, you kiss the beanbag.
Look, my son's beanbag, not one kiss. Not from any of you little bastards, okay?
Meanwhile, there's a bunch of burnt beanbags in the fucking harbor.
It's still fucking.
No, those beanbags are fish food now, man.
So a bunch of fish are sucking those D's. It's just a weird. It's weird.
It's
that
strange,
after a
yeah.
tragedy
Yeah.
to demand people ask your D. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you guys, if you're ever involved in a 9/11 situation or whatever,
Sure.
don't say that.
Sure, that's fair. Todd is very upset because his brother is dead. He's like, yeah, my dad is riding my ass. I got to do this. I got to also give a speech at this memorial. He's kind of like Columbo, but he's like, hey, maybe in a couple of weeks when my dad gets over, we'll go down to the city, catch the Yanks. And I'm like, why are you the only one like this? You're from the same town.
What has to happen in this situation is the director needs to come over
Yes.
and be like, hey, man,
You're a
I
Mets
appreciate
fan.
I appreciate that you read the script
Yeah.
more than others.
Yeah.
You understand where this film takes place. Unfortunately, you're literally the only actor in this movie that is doing a Long Island
Right.
accent.
Everyone
and it's
else
making
is
it weird.
Californian.
Yeah. So you have to stop it. I appreciate it. Listen, brownie points from me, the director, but just stop.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do a Proust reading. This afternoon, which is so certain. Well, his little speech is so fucking Long Island. It's fantastic.
It's so funny. And then we cut immediately to this guy, Todd, taking another shit.
He takes 2 shits in this movie.
I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
That's
I don't know.
so-
Has that ever happened in cinema? A character takes 2 shits in the same movie?
Oh,
in one of those clump movies, yes.
Yeah.
In the clump
Oh.
movies, absolutely.
Wait, it doesn't count if it's the same actor playing different people.
Does Jeff Daniels take another shit?
No,
in Dumb and
it's a
Dumber? Just one?
singular. It's a singular disastrous diarrhea.
I
attack.
throw it to you, the audience. Come at us with movies where people have taken, who notably take 2
Right.
shits in a film.
Same character, 2 dumps, 1 movie.
Wow.
I don't think it's ever happened outside of Final
I
Destination.
mean, I've seen 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah,
but
But that's still
doesn't
one
count.
shit, though.
Yeah.
That's still
that's
one.
exactly.
That's
That's
one
it.
shit.
Doesn't fit. It doesn't pass the test.
And remember, there's 2 girls, so they take separate shits.
I can't believe that never got a sequel.
You know, I mean, I guess I'm due for a rewatch because I can't remember if there were 2 shits in that cup or 1. I guess there's 1.
There
shit.
was, I think it's 2 shits in 1 cup.
Oh, that's
Right.
Criterion's putting in that. So
Yeah.
gotta go on the channel first.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
right, of course.
It's like the Beastie Boys video anthology. It's that, Charlie, you bit my finger. Any other big viral sensations
Yeah.
out there?
Oh, the Kelsey Grammer falling off
Yes,
the
of
stage.
course.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
gotta
on
say,
there.
at a memorial service, screaming that someone needs to kiss your hairy beanbag, could that's got viral potential.
Kiefer Sutherland tackling the Christmas tree.
Oh,
That is
absolutely.
great.
And they
That
all
is
look
great.
beautiful in the new 4K restorations that
And-
Criterion put out.
And the Hulk Hogan sex tape. That's your main
There-
disc, I think.
that's a solid
You know,
20
we
minutes.
should rewatch that because he might take a shit twice in that thing.
Ooh, you might be
Just
right.
Start and the end or something. You know,
Honey, I'm gonna take another break.
I only saw the best of.
Oh, you know what? It might happen in any given Sunday.
Oh,
Who's
really?
taking
there-
shit twice?
there's
Al
a bunch-
Pacino?
There's a bunch of football players taking shits.
Okay.
Like they go back to when they're in the locker room.
Yeah.
but
you
it's the
see-
same.
I
the
think-
same character.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's the same
Multiple
character.
dumps.
The guy who plays Max Shrek Jr.
This has to have happened, by the way. There's got to be some dumps.
the
out
the
there.
floor is open to the audience. You come at us. We're the only show that cares about stuff like this. So
So Todd is dropping trowel again, and you see the toilet starts kind of leaking.
and meanwhile, Devon Sawa's character is
Oh man.
reading. He's like catching. He's getting a little obsessed with the crash.
There's tons of literature about air disasters all over the place. You're getting eerie, kid.
And it is exactly the year 2000 because he's on his computer.
Yep.
Stops looking at his computer, then
On
goes to the left and opens up a drawer that has a pornographic magazine.
Right.
Penthouse magazine.
Fantastic. Also, he was on Netscape, I believe. That was the browser, I believe.
Did everybody see what the lead up to the penthouse?
No.
Because this is a bigger scene than I think you've latched onto here.
Please.
Because he looks at a picture of Ali Larter that was taken at the thing.
Gotcha.
This is a deciding, is it early enough for me to jack off after facing death?
The series of events are as follows. He stops reading, like there's another newspaper article in Netscape. He grabs the porno mag and he's looking at it. He goes back to the newspaper article and it's a picture of Ali Larter because it says like kids memorialized today or whatever. And then he looks back at the magazine and he does like a speaking of no one's looking. And then he immediately is like, nah, not yet. Closes the magazine.
Less than a week? Yeah, that's about right.
A fucking minute after I survive a plane crash, guess what? The fucking D and bean bags are making appearances.
I totally agree.
You got to run to that airport bathroom, dude.
Exactly.
You're not even out of the terminal yet. I see you are jerking off. Ketchup packet?
I help for a quarter.
I don't have job. I make
My country no longer exists. I help you jerk off for quarter.
Purell, technically lubricant.
Oh, ew.
Well, you know what? If a weird foreigner is mashing my junk, I think Purell as a lubricant might be a good choice.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on his hands. He's living in that grimy airport, that recycled air. He hasn't breathed fresh air in months.
Then an owl comes to his window and is like, who's jerking off? Yeah, I know. Also, close the blinds, pal. You know what? All sorts of owls watch you jerk off. Or maybe you do. I don't know.
That's my thing. I can only shoot if an owl is watching.
And a fan has to be on, too.
This fucking fan again. There's another close-up of this fan.
With the owl, I mean, you want to look at some Hooters, right?
Oh, man.
And he throws the magazine to get the owl away from his window.
Which, listen.
Also, so first movie with two shits, one character. First movie where anyone threw pornography at an owl.
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, maybe in the early D.W. Griffith years.
I was going to say, when Fritz Lang came to Hollywood, like somebody chucked a porno mag at an owl.
That guy had some crazy ideas when he first washed up.
Well, I don't know how many licks it takes to get... Ow!
Ask the D, fucking Al.
Mr. Al, you piece of shit.
You had a fucking ticket on that plane.
So when he throws the magazine, it goes right into this enormous fan. He gets porno confetti, which is gonna take him all night to clean up before his mom cleans it up.
Right.
And one of the things that comes out is a little thing that says Todd. And he's like, oh shit, that's a sign that Todd's gonna die.
Right. So we go back to the bathroom, and this, I think, is the scariest moment in this entire movie. This kid, Todd, takes a straight razor and just starts shaving his neck. No shave butter, no shaving cream. His face isn't even wet. He just rubs a fucking razor on his neck and cuts his throat. And it's like, well, yeah, what did you think was going to happen, dude? And then he's like, he makes no effort to stop the bleeding, clean it up, any of that. He just like goes on to like plug a stereo in. Like, what is this kid doing in the bathroom?
It's a tragic scene. His brother was teaching him how to shave before this, and he told him, just take your razor to your thing. Oh, wait, we got to go to Paris.
Crap, Bobby only got to pick up the razor. I don't know what's next. What's the next step in shaving?
Shave butter. Do you put that on toast?
He's also cutting his nose
hairs.
Yeah, a little young for that, I think.
But this is what's crazy. So you take a dump, you try to shave for a little bit and then stop.
Yeah.
You start trimming your nose hairs, and then fourth, you're like, I'm gonna plug in this boom box, which makes no sense. If anything, why don't you do it before the noisy dump?
I gotta put on Marilyn Manson.
But of course, it's fucking Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah, no, what a weird coincidence. Try to listen to the Yanks.
But everyone loves John Denver in this. It's so bizarre because later the teacher has it on vinyl.
Yep, that was impressive.
Yeah.
So all the while, by the way, this leak from the toilet is sort of like coming out onto the floor more, and it's like
it's a
sentient.
Yes. Because at the end of this sequence, it fucking leaves. It's just like goodbye.
And this is what's weird. It's the only instance, and I don't know if they do this in the sequels, but this is the only instance in this movie where death covers its tracks.
Yes, yeah, it's weird. It's like,
why didn't they continue that idea? That's at least kind of something, because the thing that's annoying about this movie is like, it's like I said at the top, it's just Mousetrap with waiting for kids to die funny ways. If there was at least a thing aside from this like bogus shadow imagery that we have, like show it doing shit like that, covering itself up.
Well, that's the thing is that there's only 2 real mousetrap deaths. It's this one and the teacher.
Oh, the teacher's fantastic.
Teacher's insane.
Oh,
but like the other 2, it's just like, oh, I left my car on the road. Oh,
Sean William Scott's death is kind of fucking goofy.
I mean, like if a fucking bowling ball hit the train and that made it go, maybe I'd buy it. But like,
It's like the death in Death Wish, the bowling ball.
Hit the man out of the can. And so he like goes to the shower and he slips on the water and his mom has got laundry hanging up.
Yep.
And the wire wraps around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got slippery feet in the bathtub.
Well, because he knocked all the shampoo all over the place.
Yeah. I think you can get up out of this. I think
I
really
think so,
if you
too.
tried
Yeah.
to, like he's just like relying on, why am my slippery feet working? Like, you know what, dude? Use your ass and get up.
Use your ass.
well, Death, I think, really wanted this one to go. Like, this is his first one out.
Yeah.
So it's a little
Todd's
sloppy, you think?
Well, no, like he's got to go big, like this slip here, this
Yeah.
thing here, like all this bunch of stuff, and then to cover up his tracks too. He's like, you know what? I want a big one. I want to go out big.
It's also like piano wire that they have in this house. I don't know. It's like
But
cutting through
Steve
his
is
throat.
right because like
well, it's
one-
the connector for the laundry
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, it was stupid.
Showers sometimes have those where you
right.
pull it out. It's like a thing that's attached to
Yeah.
the wall. You pull it out and it latches, and then you have a little laundry hanger. You can let stuff dry.
But he definitely could have gotten out of this because the police and the parents later are like, oh, he killed himself because he could have gotten out of this if it was a mistake. But
Yeah.
this is clearly a suicide.
Bullshit. Get out of the bathtub. Get out of the bath. Use your elbows to get out of the bathtub.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
but
silly.
he lost the will to live.
Yeah, it's true. He's like, oh, whatever. So he dies, and Todd runs over to the house.
No,
just-
Todd is dead.
Sawa runs over to the house just as it happens. And his
Alex is his name.
Alex. And his
Yeah.
dad is like, you did this, you little piece of shit.
He's like, Todd was so upset about the death of his brother that you caused, by the way, that he took his own life.
Well, it's totally plausible that he caused it.
It absolutely is. I don't blame this dad for nothing.
And the dad, if we're doing this in this movie, the dad is like, yo, you fucking gumar. Let me tell you what you did to my son. You got him all worked up about his brother dying.
He has to be wearing a white tank top. He's
Oh,
in his
Lord.
boxer shorts, and he's holding a baseball bat.
Yeah, not one Marone.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sorry.
like, oh, Maron, this fucking kid come over here, this death kid over here.
oh, look at you, mister. I blew up the fucking plane. You're going to get a baseball bat in your fucking buck teeth, asshole.
Pardon me. Let me get out of your way. You want to kill my wife too? Mr. Deathman?
Just take it. You know what? Wipe out my whole fucking family. Here's a gun. Shoot me in the fucking head.
Bet you're already jerking off, you piece of shit.
You wanted him to SUD, now he's dead.
You know what? Shoot me in my fucking beanbag.
Pardon me. I got dogs here. You want to do that to my dogs as well, Mr. Deathman?
Burn down my fucking house with all my possessions inside it, asshole.
Oh my, I see a plane in the sky. Bring that one down too, you piece of shit.
S is D. You made my kids D. You D is G. This is a grave. You dug his grave. You killed my son.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking.
You killed both my sons.
You did this.
Dude, you got to D that G, man.
Somebody's got to do it.
But instead, he's just like,
Todd was very upset.
Yeah, exactly. So in any event, so now he's really onto something.
he runs into Allie Larter, who's like snooping around as well.
Yeah,
She takes him back to her house.
her abandoned mansion. I don't
It's
know.
weird.
And
I don't
she's
know.
got all this fucking Catherine O'Hara Beetlejuice art in there.
Yes, it definitely looks like that.
We're talking about Castaway. It's like the end of Castaway. Like
Yeah.
the old fucking.
We weren't.
like,
we were talking
metal-
about the terminal. It's a
But we
different
were-
Tom
we
Hanks
were
movie.
talking
Well,
about Castaway.
I did mention the cast.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I missed
funny
it.
enough,
You
it
have to
was
clean the
not.
shit out of your ears.
Oh, no.
Funny enough, it was not related to a plane crash, which also happens in that film.
I was gonna say.
When did it come up?
Talking
Talking
The
beards?
Eternal and the beard, the thing.
Yeah, the terminal
Oh.
would have, Mr. Terminal would have aged enough that he would have been like a halfway between the
Oh, I
terminal and
see.
Castaway.
Fair enough.
But then, yes, oh my God, the fucking those FedEx packages. Too.
Oh, what a tragedy.
Final destination for FedEx packages.
But she's like, here's this like weird sculpture.
Yeah.
This is where the flirtation like kind of starts because she's like, this is my interpretation of you. You make my head go crazy,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what's going on right here?
There's got to be deleted scenes because later in this movie she is calling him
babe.
Yeah.
Yes,
She's calling
thank
him
you.
baby.
I know exactly where it is, though. According to the Tribune trivia, there was an extended part where they, later in the film, they drive out to Jones Beach like you would.
Nice.
Well, Long Island location. I appreciate it.
That's right. And when she finds him on the beach, they fuck in that scene.
Oh, that would make some sense.
Yeah.
But they
That's
don't.
the anti-death fucking.
But they don't fuck.
No, not in the movie.
You don't see them like there was a sex scene in the movie. That's why from the beach scene on, she's calling him baby and babe. But it
Right.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Unless you leave that scene in.
Oh, I see you fucking your girlfriend on the beach here. My son's D the G.
I come here for a midnight stroll. Look what I see, you fucking beanbag.
Look who it is, Mr. Murderer of my fucking family.
Now maggots are eating his F.
Oh, look, public sex. I have 2 kids in Corfins.
In any event, the teacher's the next one to get it. Or actually, no.
Well,
The next
then
one
we got to cover something important.
Please,
here.
please.
One of the weirdest, most cavalier things in this movie. She's like, you know what we should do? You should go see if you can like get some sign from Todd because she believes he's got like some gift or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's like, let's go see Todd because he says like, I wish I just could have seen him one last time.
Oh, right.
So they break into this funeral parlor
Sure.
to see their dead friend who's laid out on this table. And this is where we have the great Tony Todd comes in.
Right? They were trying to kiss his beanbag, but then Tony Todd interrupts them.
One less K to the B, dude, before he gets put in the G.
Yes, exactly.
And he's great in this scene. I understand like the whole point.
Death's sadistic design.
The whole point is to not have a killer of any kind. Death
Right.
is unseen. That's like what sets this movie apart, and does make it interesting. But like when you have Tony Todd right there, and he's also, and he's like, then you're like, the best line of this movie is, you're messing with the Grim Reaper, and you don't want to fuck with that Mac Daddy, and it's like, it's a chilling rendition of that really kind of silly line.
Yeah.
This franchise fucks up by not keeping him throughout all these movies. He comes back and forth. I think like the 4th movie he's not in whatsoever. In the 3rd movie, it's like a carnival ride has his voice.
Yeah,
for
he's
a
not
second.
in it.
Oh, stupid.
But a few of them do bring him back. I think maybe 2 and
He's
5.
like in for a flash in the second one, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Not
all
for
I
that
want.
long.
I mean, I just want him to like be around, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's there.
he's
when-
on the scene of all the deaths.
exactly.
What's the thing he says before that about fucking in death? Like he during this because he gives a little bit of a
you
speech
can't
here,
fuck. You can't fuck during death, dude.
but he's like saying like, and the sex we have,
Oh,
and
right.
the I'm like, what?
Well, I
fucking
think-
world are you going off on here,
I
man?
don't remember that part.
He's just, I mean, it's just this weird scene where he's clearly the Grim Reaper, and these 2 kids are like, well, that guy was pretty odd. Like, they don't bring that up all the time. Like, hey, you want to go back to that fucking mortuary and talk to that dude? Talk
Yeah.
to his boss, maybe?
Like, it's insane that this is Tony Todd's only scene in this movie.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
It should start like It's a Wonderful Life, where it's a bunch of stars, and one star is Tony Todd, like, I need to collect more souls. And they're like, well, you got to catch this fucking plane.
Oh, you want to earn your scythe?
Yes, exactly. Every time a plane goes down, a Reaper gets his scythe.
Amazing.
That's
It'd
a
be
movie.
beautiful.
Oh, Clarence, I want to live again. Oh, no, Tony Todd. Why don't you get old Mr. Gower? That guy's 149 years old.
Come on, take Gower. He's right there.
I don't have your dead kids. They're at Fred's house and Mary's house. And
Someone's K'ing the B over at Mary's house. Jesus Christ. So Devon Sawa comes away with he's inspired by Tony Todd into thinking that like death has a design and there's a grand plan.
And that the Grim Reaper is a Mac Daddy. Now he's almost positive that the Grim Reaper is a Mac Daddy.
and you don't fuck with that Mac Daddy.
Absolutely.
Never.
And so, you know, he starts to theorize that by ripping them off the plane, he's futzed with the design and has caused trouble.
And I think at this point, so he's kind of explaining this at a cafe
To Allie Larter.
to Allie Larter. And Allie Larter's like, what? And then at this point, everyone in the movie re-meets up.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess Kerr Smith and his girlfriend are driving around, and he's like, I'm gonna go yell at that kid one more time for saving my life.
Right. He fucking pulls a Yui. He almost knocks Stifler off his bicycle.
And the teacher is actually just getting a cup of coffee, and we're all yelling at each other. And Amanda Detmer, who plays the girlfriend here, is like, I don't owe you shit. And she says the line, "This plane crash will not be the most important thing in my life." I'm like, it kind of is.
It would
like,
have
that's
to
kind of
be.
a wash.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you plan on doing?
What, you run for president, lady? Like, what's going to happen here?
You know, I said the same thing on 9/11, and I just didn't think it would take over. I knew it would be a big deal, but I didn't know it was going to dictate the rest of my life, and turns out it did.
It did, yeah. It got everything. It's
Sorry,
a big
plane
fucking
crashes are big.
They're a big fucking deal, specifically if you survive them.
Yes.
But she also, though, is like, I'm not going to keep berating Devon Sawa. Like, I don't blame you. Guys are all fucking stupid and whatnot. Because the teacher, I think, right here, does she announce, like, right here that she's moving also?
Yeah. Yes, and then, like, Kerr Smith is like, oh, great, you made teacher leave town. I'm like, Kerr Smith, relax.
That's it. He's like, you're my favorite teacher.
It's like, you're just looking for a reason to be mad. That's not a real thing.
So Amanda Detmer then says, you can drop fucking dead. She steps off the curb and gets hit by a bus.
She gets to meet Joe Black. It's pretty good. This is a pretty good one.
I was
It
waiting
is
for
a
this
good
one.
Meet Joe Black death. This was in the trailer, I believe.
Well, they can't show
Well,
the
not the
splatter.
splatter.
All right.
No, not the splatter, Steve.
Gotta splatter my D, dude.
That B splattered her.
No, that S my D, the other S my D. Don't splatter my dick, suck it.
Oh my!
I guess that's why you want to use specific terms.
That's true. That's
As
why
opposed-
words are important.
Oh no, it's been splattered. You can't bring that back to life. Once your
No.
dick is splattered, dude, forget about it.
No, Megatron. I said S my D. I didn't mean S my D.
Does he have a dick?
Yeah, of course he does. We spent 5 episodes on this.
Right,
I
did
think
all
we
the
landed
Transformers.
on him having a
Okay,
dick.
Yeah, that's right. Because then it's like when he gets refueled, it's like being blown. It's like
It's like the world's biggest Kawasaki motorcycle.
So we cut to Devon Sawa's drinking Alka-Seltzer. It's in this movie. Because he's so, like, bugging out. And then it's also, we cross-cut to Ali Larter also drinking Alka-Seltzer. And it's a weird, I was reading on the Tribune trivia about this, and I don't know if the fucking weirdo who submitted this, like, got it off the DVD commentary or what, but apparently they had, like, the one shot of Devon Sawa drinking the Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
But they didn't think it was enough, like, downtime after the horrifying splatter of the bus. So they're like, oh, the audience needs to chill out a little more. Why not have another shot of someone else drinking Alka-Seltzer?
Like, because if I'm sorry, at this point I would be going crazy.
Yeah.
If I got off the plane, it then exploded.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
There's one of my best friend just got mousetrapped to death, and then a bus just fucking rolled over this other person I was friends with.
Right.
I'd be losing my mind.
And
Yeah.
Chris, your favorite teacher's leaving town. That's gonna make
That's
you
a bigger thing.
yeah.
Yeah, forget all this death. Someone's moving away.
Also, your D got splattered.
So he's watching the news with his old man, and they show like a seating chart, and they're like, oh, the FAA has determined that there was a leak in this fucking thing. It sparked a chain explosion through the gas line. And you see like the chain of the explosion go through this little seating chart. And Devon Sawa starts to realize, hey, I think this is where everyone was sitting.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of like, I'm putting the seating chart up to a fucking television and tracing things.
So stupid.
And I mean, like, I guess you would remember, but I wouldn't have that good of a memory of where everyone was sitting, especially
No.
in a bunch of horror.
So the
Yeah.
idea is like those who got blown up first on the airplane
Yeah.
would be the ones that were killed first by death, and lucky for DS, I can't say his name. I won't say it correctly. Is seated in the back.
Yes, he was in the back
of the
of
plane.
Yeah, so he was like the last. He should be the last one to go,
Right.
theoretically.
So he does the math here on his little seating chart, and he realizes that the teacher is next.
Yes.
So he starts like hanging around her house. She has him arrested briefly.
Of course, it's fucking little weirdos hanging out around my house. Ew.
But this
First
is-
of all, ew.
So this is like she's on the phone with somebody, and this is where she's talking about like, oh, I gotta move.
Yeah.
I can't be around these kids anymore. Oh, look at that. One of these little wieners is outside right now looking at me.
Yeah, he's picking his nose.
So then she's like,
She opens her window. You know, I'm not getting paid right now. That's the only time I want to see your ugly face.
Yeah.
Close the window.
So he gets picked up by the FBI. Shrek and Donkey come get him.
Been there.
Oh, have you?
No, I'm not.
Because you were stalking a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people were hot for teachers. Steve Zadek was stalked for teacher.
Were you trying to rescue the princess?
Yeah. She's in another castle.
Oh, okay.
I'm stocked for teacher.
Stalk my D, dude.
So
See, that's why you couldn't just say ass. No one would know what you meant.
Yeah, so it's just like some dude like hanging around my D, watching it go to work and shit.
I said S my D, dude, like 3 days ago. Well, I am.
So
You wanted to splatter. Hold on.
Kerr splat.
G, my D, dude. Gallagher, that shit. This is where she flips through the record collection. She goes, "Oh, Mom's favorite."
Yeah.
And this is John Denver. So you hear this beautiful Rocky Mountain High, and you know somebody's in trouble.
Who has viciously died out of my collection?
Ooh, Sonny and Cher.
The mamas and the papas. Perfect.
My question is, did the John Denver estate know what they were signing on for? Was it like we want to use it for a horror movie? Oh, what kind of horror movie? Never mind.
I think it might be a take what you can get situation.
Yeah.
They
You know
are
what I
kind of
mean?
into it lately. You know, like Alien Covenant has
right.
John Denver,
Yes.
and I fucking loved it. I think that's one of the reasons why I like that movie.
I like it a lot.
I
Yeah,
do
I
too.
enjoy it.
You can fucking ask my D.
That's why I like son-in-law so much.
By the way, as my D, I'm
thank
sorry, I
you.
should clarify. You can shout in my direction if you disagree.
Oh, okay. Not shout at your dick.
Shouting at my dick. So this teacher has the mousetrap death of the millennium.
She's trying to make tea. She's trying to settle her nerves, and she realizes the cup she's using is the fucking high school cup. She goes, and
That's a bit much.
she freaks out.
She cancels the tea and then pours ice cold vodka in it, and then cracks the cup that leads this fucking mousetrap scenario. It's insane.
Put the vodka in the computer monitor.
Yeah, she's
It's just pouring into that computer.
How do you
monitor.
not notice that? Like,
Exactly.
how stupid is
my
this
precious
person?
vodka?
She deserves to die.
Yeah, she kind of does.
and it starts fizzling, and she looks at it, and this the monitor explodes. A shard of computer monitor glass cuts her throat. And you'd think that should be enough, Tony Todd. And he's like, no, I'm not taking any chances.
Well, the dude, he is the fucking Death Mac Daddy.
Yeah, that's true. So
you don't fuck with him.
She's trying to. What goes on? So she's bleeding. Then, by the way, with the explosion, fire is now following her around the apartment because she's leaking vodka.
Right, the booze is burning up.
And this is how I'm gonna go.
The fire is just following it. S my D. S my D. Get back here.
She falls on the floor because of she's slipping on her own blood.
Yes.
She falls on the floor and she's trying to pull this towel down to wrap it around her neck. And we had seen earlier in the scene, she puts the towel over this knife rack, which I
Yeah.
know I do all the time.
Yes.
She pulls it down to try to, cover up the wound. A knife falls right into her fucking chest.
Breaks through the rib cage. No problem there.
Yep.
It's kind of impressive.
And Devon Sawa shows up just at this moment. He's like, oh my gosh, let me start grabbing it. Dude, I would be very much where's the phone? I'm going to call 911 here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hands in the air.
And also just immediately pulling out a knife out of someone.
Yep.
First of all, you're just going to make them bleed even more.
Yeah, now she's gone.
Yeah, and then now you've got your hands on the murder weapon.
And
It's just stupid.
What you want to do is just put your hands in the blood.
yes.
That's the smartest thing to
What
do
you
in
want
this
to do
situation.
is just walk away.
exactly.
That's true.
You got to
Yeah.
Walter White that shit. You look at it and you just go, that's enough
Yep,
for me.
no,
You wanna-
I'm gonna watch her expire and then quietly leave the room.
Well, and this teaches you why he's not thinking, because he gets there, and when he notices he can do nothing to help the situation, he leaves, and Seann William Scott sees him right before the thing explodes.
Right.
Seann William Scott's got to be taken care of.
Oh,
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
definitely.
100%.
And by the way, Walter White also caused a plane crash.
Oh, that's
true.
right. But it's a weird Seann William Scott eerily riding his bike at night in
Yeah.
the suburbs. I've never seen him in a performance like this. It's so strange.
It's unsettling.
Everything else, he's just Steve Stifler.
Hello, mother.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
that's kind of the thing. It's not super dorky. It's just immature, which is an interesting kind of choice.
Yeah, he's not a nerd. He's just like a gentle, immature goofball.
He's an innocent. It's
Yes,
like
exactly.
really fucking weird, especially what happens next with him.
Yeah.
Right. So he sees Devon Sawa running out of the house. The house explodes. Great fucking IRL explosion, by the way.
Absolutely.
nice.
That's why you want to watch this on DVD.
So
you can really watch it.
don't pour vodka in your computer monitor because your house will explode.
That's exactly right. That's
What
a
a-
lesson to be learned from
That's
this
an A to
movie.
B.
It's a crazy chain of events.
So she's dead.
S my D. No, I said sip my drink. What are you doing? What? Hold on.
I mean, I was wondering how I was going to splatter in this place, but
That's an interesting fetish, having your drink sipped.
Oh yeah, look at. Oh, she's totally taking a sip of my whiskey. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
don't touch the ice. Oh God.
Single malt.
The girlfriend experience is $100. Me taking a sip of your drink, that's $8. Well, all I got is all right. I got $16. That's 2 sips. Okay, all right.
Oh, 2 sips.
I get to keep the drink.
So we all meet up at the fucking monument, the death monument.
Yeah, sure.
It's the surviving members. It's Carter, Ali Larter's character, Devon Sawa, and Billy Hitchcock there, Steve Stifler.
And the coach is just like, God damn it, we were 18-0. That should be my name on that monument.
You know, I spent so many months fundraising to get this monument erected.
That's a monument to my dead dreams.
Our record died that day. Our quarterback was on the plane.
But so they say like, all right, we all got to like stand together. Devon Sawa explains the situation again.
No, this is what. No, Devon Sawa is missing for some reason, and only.
Oh,
only
you're
Larter
right.
knows
You're right.
is
Oh,
at
because he's
Jones
on the
Beach.
run. You're right.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
he's
Is
on
this
the
when he
run.
goes to the fucking crazy cabin?
No, this is coming
before
up.
this? Okay.
This is the Jones Beach sequence.
Yes,
They all
he goes
drive
to
to
Jones
Jones Beach. They have sex, and then they all get in this car together. And they don't have sex; it's not in the movie, but they should have sex because she starts calling him baby.
Yeah.
They all get in the car at this point, and like Devon Sawa is now explaining the thing in the car.
You're right.
And now Kerr Smith is freaking out. He's like, "So what? Am I going to die at any moment?" He's like, "Yeah. Have you been watching the movie?" He's like, "No,
I haven't.
I've been busy."
I don't know what happened. Your girlfriend just died. Oh yeah.
Man, I haven't been following along for shit.
Dude, I got lost for a while.
On the beach, though, I do want to point out, because this is obviously after this, you would have sexual intercourse because she explains to him, she recants the tale of her father's violent death.
Oh God.
Because she's like, oh, I've been thinking about, death, obviously, and just the randomness of everything. My dad went into his 7-Eleven, and a guy told him, he came up from behind and said, don't turn around. And my dad thought it was a friend being funny, so he turned around, and a man shot him in the face.
You know what, dude? Don't turn around.
Also, like, this gives Devon Sawa a boner.
It does.
I mean, there's clearly intercourse
But
here.
this is also, so she's like, oh, my dad died, and then my mom couldn't handle it, and then she got a new boyfriend who's now her husband, and he didn't want kids, so now she doesn't either, and now I live at the end of fucking Cigarette Road in an abandoned museum. I don't know how this happened. The last part, just don't worry about it. That's what happened.
They should just double up and have Anne Heche play her.
Yes.
The guy in charge of the lady in charge of her too.
Exactly.
Do you think it's a thing where they just left her that house? Like, you know what? We're heading west. This shit's paid for. You can stay in this old barn.
Or you could ask my D, sell my dwelling.
But later in the movie, this house is shown to have boards on the windows. So, like, what the fuck
Dude,
happened?
the Homer Simpson abandoned. He just
Well, I
nailed
think the
it to
mom
this.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave you the house. We're gonna be back on maybe Thanksgiving. Board up my windows because that's my bedroom. That's not your bedroom. You're not allowed to sleep in there. I want the windows boarded up, Missy.
It's Long Island, dude. Maybe it was hurricane season.
Oh,
You
could
board up
be.
those windows.
I wouldn't go to my bank and try to take anything out of my account. They might put a gun to you because I told them there's some strict shit.
So Ali Larter says, like, all right, well, my uncle or something has a cabin in the woods. We can go there and, like, be safe.
Yes.
Is the idea. And this dude, Carter, is just not fucking having it. And he's like, well, if we're all going to hell, we're all going to go to hell tonight. And he's like driving like an asshole. He's all over the road.
He's taking his hands off the wheel.
Because also Devon Sawa tells him at this point that mathematically or whatever, on his list, like he's next.
No, he doesn't say who's next. He said he might be next.
And he takes that as gospel and he's freaking out or whatever. So she says, stop the fucking car. He stops it on the train tracks. And of course there's a train coming, by the way.
And now both Devon Sawa and Ali Larter are in hell, which is in the back seat of a two-door car.
Yep.
That's like literally a fate worse than death.
I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate riding in
like,
two-door
can
cars.
I just get out of the
back.
car? I can't get out of the car.
Yep.
The guy's got to get out.
Oh, you got to lean. And you know what the worst of those is when someone tries to move the seat forward,
Jesus Christ.
but refuses to get out of the car.
Yeah.
It's like, get your lazy ass out of the car so I can get out of this fucking stupid two-door car.
Why don't you just say, can I S your D? Sit by your door.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Kevin. I didn't think of that. It's also known as riding shotgun.
Easy. It's very easy.
So they're yelling at him, get out of the car, get out of the car. He won't, but Seann William Scott does. So they get out. I love that Devon Sawa closes the passenger side door. Like, well, I mean,
Oh, he's still a polite kid. You don't want to leave a door open.
And then Kerr Smith realizes he does want to live, but death does have it in for him. And there's some signs before that about the seatbelt. And
well, Devon Sawa starts having visions, and he realizes that he can use these visions to his advantage. By he can see what's going to happen and then prevent it from happening.
Yeah,
and make death skip the person. With
the seatbelt is stuck, so he gets through it. He gets the kid out. The car explodes by the train, and like they're having this loud argument. He's like, "I did it!" And Seann William Scott's like, "You know what? You guys are a bunch of jerks. I don't want to talk to any of you guys anymore." He's doing this like, "I want to be out of this movie." And then there's like a shard of car, I guess.
It's still on the tracks, and the vibrations are making it like flip and fly under the train. It comes. I mean, it's so
with
stupid.
this much velocity with this thing.
But that's what I'm talking. This is why this is another mousetrap death. IMO.
Yeah,
because this thing shoots out and cuts his head off, but like from like the middle of his mouth. Like it's a good, like his jaw is left, like the bottom of his jaw is left on there.
I've never seen the actual original Vanishing, but I've seen the remake with
Jeff Bridges
and Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah,
and that's how Jeff Bridges goes. Spoiler alert for the movie The Vanishing.
Well, if you haven't seen a 35-year-old movie.
Kiefer Sutherland takes a shovel into his mouth and shoves it.
Nice.
And it goes right through.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
It's fucking killer. So Billy Hitchcock drops dead, and so
he asked his D. Actually, he shoveled his death.
Right. And so this is where Sawa can confirm. He's like, "Oh, I saved Carter."
Yeah.
And then the next person in line was Billy, and now Billy's dead, so it skips a person if you can prevent their death. Is the idea?
And he's like, "Okay, I'm next. I'm going to go to Claire's house."
I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you, but there was a great production design detail right here when they're having this argument. Even after Seann William Scott is killed, you catch the look of Carter. His pants.
Oh yeah,
the kid definitely has pissed his pants.
Yes.
It's so awesome.
Of course you would,
but it's a great detail. Not enough people in terrifying situations in cinema piss their own pants.
I mean, my pants would be wet this entire movie.
I'd be peeing my pants in tons of different movies.
Walking off the plane, I'd have piss in my pants.
I would S my D. I would shit my drawers.
Exactly. He also has the dumbass line, "I must be a god," and then someone says, "Gods don't die. We do."
Yeah.
Great.
And
great.
So now he's in this cabin in Claire's dad's fucking nightmare shack.
It's where he wrote his manifesto.
Exactly. And he's like trying to like booby trap it proof. Like he's putting corkscrews or cork on all of like the ragged edges kind of a thing.
What is the deal with the duct tape? What is he doing there?
I guess the idea that things wouldn't be able to move out and like
fall on him.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I mean, they've gone full like Michael Shannon and Bug at this point.
Yeah,
yeah, dude. This movie should end with somebody lighting themselves on fire.
And I do think Sawa's pretty good in this movie in doing the panic shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's paranoid. It's pretty obvious that's his like motivation.
The paranoia
he hits
is good
that
shit.
Yeah, he hits it.
Is he eating cat food in this scene?
I don't know what's going on.
Because that's a can that, you know what? It was a titch too tiny for tuna.
Yeah, it looks like cat food.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Because he
I'll put him
makes,
that way.
he's moving his jaw. There's like a little gristle in there. I
Oh,
was like, I think he's
God.
eating cat food.
Also, like
Disgusting.
he also has this elaborate plan, and he's relying on a kerosene lamp for fucking light. That's the least safe thing in the world.
But did you see the fucking half-ass safety precaution though?
oh, it's in water or something.
It's like on a platform that's like also in. It's so stupid.
that just makes it unstable. You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
just gonna
that's
easily fall over.
not- yes.
Well, the best part is him shitting in the corner so he doesn't fall in.
And at this point, he realizes, I did my math wrong because I was supposed to. I wasn't. It's either I was supposed to switch seats or I wasn't supposed to switch seats. Either way, I
was-
got to get out.
He was going to switch seats back to be with Todd.
So then
Right.
he would have died earlier, or he would have died later, and Claire would have died first. So then it's Claire's turn, and
Right.
she's in the middle of in the middle of an abandoned fucking wax museum. I don't even know where she is.
This is like Edward Scissorhands' castle.
Yes. I think Vincent Price was rolling around in
No,
there.
to be serious. So she goes to the Broken Glass Museum.
So, but as this is happening, Claire is like, "Hey, look, I'll tell you where he." She tells the FBI agents who are kind of characters. She goes to Agent Shrek and Agent Donkey that look, he's at this cabin. If you keep him safe, that's where he is. So they go, and I mean, like they come with a SWAT team, which they should.
Absolutely.
This kid gets away in a rowboat. Are you kidding me?
SWAT my D, dude.
Devon Sawa jumping in this canoe and rowing away from fucking law enforcement is the
Amazing.
single funniest thing. How about just get a shot off on that canoe
And he-
sink him?
He escapes them with a canoe, and then they drive around to the other side of the shore or whatever this is.
Yeah, the Long Island Sound.
Yes, they drive to Connecticut, and he shows up in Connecticut, and he just runs away, and he evades them again.
It's pretty. I mean, these guys are dunderheads, man.
The weird thing about this is he kind of keeps almost dying at this point, and I'm like, but wait, isn't he not on the list? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? How does that work?
I don't think the list matters anymore. I
I
think that's
you
the
could
kind of thing that.
also you could also just die.
Okay,
Yeah.
you could also just die at
Yeah,
any moment.
death's
Okay.
out to get you, but you could also be stupid.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Well, I guess that's true. Yeah.
In any of those sequels, do any of the characters? I mean, do they follow the same? Like,
That's
there's
the
a
thing,
line
is
of
it doesn't.
people.
It's not like this at all in the
Yeah.
sequels.
The pattern, I think, is just thrown out the window.
that's a
Oh,
little-
'cause it
that's a
would've
little
be
too hard
awesome.
to do. Yeah, it's a little hard.
Well, it would be rad though if it was like, you know what? Fuck this! I'm going to beat death at his own game, and someone kills themselves. Are there any suicides in those
I
sequels?
don't remember there
just
being.
in the audience, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't.
Boy,
remember.
would Tony Todd's face be red, dude, if someone beat the Grim Reaper at his own game.
I mean, that's what I would be ODing,
Yeah.
overdosing. This is the wrong episode to say that. But
So what are you doing to your dick, dude?
You're over dicking.
been there.
You got a blister.
Oh.
Agent Shrek is going to investigate your overdigging, dude.
no, in any event. But I would be like, I would do all of the hardest drugs and just be like, that's the way I'm going, guys.
Yep,
Good night.
totally.
If fucking Tony, if it's gonna happen for sure, that's what's gonna
Go
happen.
out guns blazing, Steve.
But Devon Sawa escapes being impaled by a tree at this point,
Oh, I forgot about that weird tree.
and like Claire is like, "Oh man, this is cool. Look at my fucking abandoned mansion." And she hears her dog barking outside. There's thunder and lightning going on. Now lightning hits a power line near her house, and there's a live wire just
Yeah.
whipping around.
And it
This live
hangs
wire is
out.
one of the greatest characters of the movie.
Exactly, because it hangs out for like 30 minutes.
It's kind of nuts.
This thing could easily qualify
Hey,
for
I'm gonna zap you.
a supporting ass Oscar nomination.
It does, but it also roars. Like it
Yeah.
keeps
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's alive, dude. It's like the electric gremlin.
and
I think it's the same wire from the ice storm.
Oh yeah, dude. That
And I
guy
think-
got around. He
I
got
think that-
work.
I think that roared too.
and it's whipping around, and she's like, "Oh no, my dog's out there," and I'm like, I'm the biggest animal person there ever would be. I would almost do anything for my cats, but if I am on the Grim Reaper's shit list,
Right.
and there's a live wire outside my house, Sorry, Sparky.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
The dog should know better. Fucking thing roaring at it. You can fucking get away from this better than I could.
Well, and also you assume you're gonna die anyway, so you'll see him eventually.
Exactly.
You'll be up there.
And also, this looks like an older dog. It's like a German Shepherd. It's barking. Shut up, you stupid piece of shit.
You start to do that math, and you're just like, well, probably like 3 or 4 years left anyway. I'll just think tops. So
I'm just saving myself some vet bills at this point.
exactly.
I got some hair from him. I can clone him later.
Exactly. That's
Wait, you're gonna ask my D, Streisand, my dog. She fucking has those weird
Yep.
clones.
She does
Definitely
indeed.
does. So Sawa shows up and she's like in the car. She backs out of her garage door. The fucking garage door opener falls out on the windshield. Like Death is really trying his hardest.
Rose
here.
McGowan's hanging out of the garage, I guess.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he comes up and he's like, all right, here's the deal. I'm going to distract Mr. Livewire. You get out of the car. So then he starts wrestling with this fucking thing.
And it's like, because, and like she jumps out. He gets zapped.
He goes flying,
And
which
this
is
is
kind
what
of funny.
we get one of the two babies like, oh no, baby, are you okay, baby?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. How did they not be like, you know what? We should eliminate any kind of like, lovey-dovey talk like that, just in case we cut the fucking scene.
Or just have them
ADR.
make out or kiss
Yeah.
at some point just to make it okay.
Yeah, do a reshoot on the beach of them kissing for half a second. And
That's
you
fine.
cover your
You're
bases.
done.
Yep.
By the way, Shrek and Donkey are also on scene for this. They see the car explode now. As
They're
well.
doing jack shit.
Dude,
Those
they're
two.
S and D,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
friends. S
Oh my
and
God.
D.
This is
There
our
it is.
thesis. Thank you. That's it for tonight.
Hackman and Kane in the same movie, dude. Could stop watching TV.
But they watch this kid get zapped. And we kind of cut to a hospital almost. And this is like, the ending is so clearly a reshoot. Like,
for God's
it is
without question.
because not only is Ali Larter blonde now, because she's just blonde anyway, and it's like, I'm not dyeing my hair again.
No
well,
more
6
bangs.
months later, dude, don't worry about it.
And fucking, I mean, literally, Devon Sawa looks totally different. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is.
It's really stupid though. So it's 6 months later. The three surviving people now. So Carter, Ali Larter, and Devon Sawa. They all are in Paris, and they're like,
You could, by the way, I would be John Madden for the rest of my life. You could
Exactly,
not get
yeah.
me on a fucking plane ever again.
6 months. It's ridiculous.
And also going to Paris with your high school bully who you had sort of an okay near-death experience
Yeah,
with. Like they
sure.
were
right.
I mean, Carter was still a fucking dickhead.
But dude, they SD, man. They shut out death. So now they're buds.
I think this has turned into an E2 Mama Final Destination, by the way. The
Oh,
three of these people.
sure.
Or actually,
Great.
more appropriately, the Dreamers. We're dreamers-ing each
and
other.
It's fucking it's
Yeah.
France. You can just fucking hang your D out the window and get a bunch of people to get up there. You have a whole thing going on.
But it's so dumb because like the way they're delivering this dialogue, it's like, wow, Paris. I never thought we'd finally get here. I'm like, those people are. I mean, they're finally cold in the ground.
Yeah.
But it's been 6 months.
And woohoo, party! Like, could you imagine going back to town, about this crippled town that was really like with like Like, you want to hear about my Paris vacation? No, my son is still dead.
Yeah. Who are you talking to? There's no friends left.
Oh, Maro, this fucking kid went to where?
How fucking dare yous? So they're like sitting at this cafe, and Devon Sawa's like, one more thing about our whole death adventure. And the two of them are like, you know what, man? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and then the waiter comes by. I was like, oh, yes, what would you like? Could you ask my D? What did you say to me?
Zut alors.
Saute my duck, please. Thank you. I would like you to saute my duck. Thank you very much.
So they're like, oh, here we go again, dude. What are you saying with your crazy conspiracy theory? And he's fucking got a little piece of paper.
Yeah.
He's mapping it all out again. And then, like, the dude Carter fucking freaks out. And he's like, you know what? Fuck you, man. This isn't what we came here for.
Yeah.
And then, like, this huge, looks like the sign for the Moulin Rouge starts coming down.
What happens is, in this moment, Devon Sawa realizes he's the next one. So he's like, you guys stay here. I got to go back to the
Oh,
hotel.
you're right. You're right.
And he's going to go, and a bus almost hits him. And I'm like, I saw the bus already, guys.
Yeah.
But he escapes it. And
Well,
then,
doesn't he have a vision here of the bus like
I
driving by?
think
I think
so.
he does.
And then, like,
It causes all sorts of chaos. Like it goes to like a fruit stand or something.
Kerr Smith saves him, pushes him out of the way, and then picks up and is like, well, who's next? And as he's saying who's next, then the Moulin Rouge sign is coming at him, and he's pretty much, he's toast.
It swings down, and I think it's like just as it's about to make contact, we cut to black.
Yeah.
Right, that sign, SSSD singles his death.
Signals.
Yes.
But let me tell you,
Mm.
that blackout gag cut to me in the theaters in the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
The theater went fucking ape shit.
It's a good ending.
It's a way to end a movie, man, and the
Yeah.
audience responded in kind.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy. They SD at that moment. They shouted at the devil.
It is a good ending.
Yeah,
That-
it's a strong. I mean, it's clearly a reshoot. I would love to know what the original was, but it's a strong ending.
They get all on a plane again and just explodes right there.
Oh no!
It should have been a scene. Here's what it is. You can go to Paris again. That's fine. But then, by the way, fucking Kerr Smith is not on this vacation. It's
Yeah.
the two of them.
No.
Because also in this in the cafe scene, they are holding hands throughout the entire thing.
Okay.
But they're like, oh, we finally did it. Like we avoided it. Like we're here. Let's get on with our lives. Fucking Tony Todd is the waiter at the cafe.
Yes,
Oh,
there
that'd be
you
nice.
go.
Or he's like, he sits down. Maybe it's like the Dark Knight Rises at the end there. Like they see each other at the cafe, like across the way. Tony Todd's reading the newspaper. He just sort of like nods at Devon Sawa and
I
Ali
won't
Larter.
I won't not bury another.
So whatever, man. That's the movie. Now, there's two of you who have seen the entire franchise. Do you want to rank them really quickly?
Oh yeah, I think everyone has to rank them. Steve, you can
Okay.
start.
Season one.
You're gonna ask my D, my friend.
What's that?
It's just
Suck my
one,
dick.
one to one.
Yeah, I haven't
just the
seen
one.
any
I've only seen
sequels.
the
It's
first
just the
one.
two of you. Chris Cabot, go first.
I think it's 3 is the best because I think it's where things get self-aware enough where they're just like, good deaths. Let's just do good deaths.
Yeah, I can
That's
do
what matters. Let's do that.
We know everybody's coming for this.
This one is number 2 just because it's it's the original.
Yeah.
After that, it's kind of a crapshoot, but I would say probably 2, 5, 4.
Does
Okay.
2 attempt to continue the mythos at all? Because
Well,
Ali
all of
Larter's
them-
in the movie, right?
Ali Larter's in the movie. What they do is each one of them opens with like a big death,
Right.
This is an airplane. The second one's like a 10
Roller coaster?
10 car pile up. The third
Right.
one is a roller coaster.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only thing they
There's
really
a suspension bridge in one of them, I
do. I
read.
think that's the fourth one.
Or maybe the fifth.
Could be.
Yeah. Anyway, my rankings are 1, 3, 5, 2, and 4.
So we switched 2 and 5 and 3 and 1, and that's our.
There it is.
There you go.
Now, as far as Final Destination, would anybody recommend the OG FD?
I would, yeah, 100%. It's a super fun movie. It's too long. It loses gas. Like every time I watch this movie, I'm always like, why isn't this working better? Because when you stop watching it, you remember the good stuff, but the
Right.
experience isn't as good as
yeah.
the memory of it. It's a totally fun movie. It's also a hangover movie for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like it.
I think it only works as a hangover movie,
Okay.
honestly, because the problem is that what we're talking about is like there's only 2 mousetrap deaths.
Yes.
Like these needs more deaths. Like fucking Shrek and Donkey, they should be dead.
Yeah, that's
like
totally true.
it's just 2 big deaths, and then Sean Scott gets his head fucking cut off.
Mhm.
But like after that, I was kind of like, okay,
That-
I'm done here.
That is a great point because these fat know nothing cops, what are they doing in this movie? They need to be killed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, they should. Tony Todd's like, you're intervening.
It would be one thing if they like continued to wonder and built up the fact that he might have blown up the fucking plane.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
might have led somewhere, but they don't do that.
right.
Yeah, they kind of just do nothing. I would recommend it because it's dumb. It's fun enough. I had a good enough time watching it.
Right.
I'd also recommend number 3.
3, I
and I
think,
think
is the
3 is a stay tuned and a half, maybe a spooktacular coming
I
up.
would
who
believe
knows?
so.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually recommend this. I think, like, as far as the year 2000 and horror, you know, this was a little different. It did like set off a nice, like, little successful franchise here. 100% in the Hangover category. Because even with this movie, where there's more story, quote unquote, like. At this point in like 2019, everybody knows what these movies are. You're just watching it to see the stupid, silly deaths anyway.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine.
Wait, so this is Around the Horn recommend?
Yeah. Full on.
So I mean, you should ask that D. See the DVD.
That is Final Destination, directed by James Wong. If you want more We Hate Movies, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies, where this month we are running a special episode on Death Wish 2018.
It's amazing. Yeah, we got a ton of stuff on there. Death Wish 2018. We're doing a Nexus on City on the Edge of Forever and Elementary, Our Dear Data. You almost want to listen to that one.
Speaking of Shrek and Donkey, the animation Damnation is on Puss in Boots.
That's right.
That's right. The only good part of Shrek 2.
Yeah, there's
Antonio
there's
Banderas.
apparently an animated show on Netflix, and we
That
did the
lasted for
episode
years.
My Brother.
Brothers, I think.
And
Brothers.
then there's a Gleep glossary on the $8 level of the hammerhead alien from the
Mos Eisley Cantina. Yeah, Moma Nadan or Mama Nadan, whatever you prefer to call him. He's a Gleep glop in that cantina scene, and that's just a new sideshow we did at the $8 level where I tell these guys Star Wars facts and they laugh about it.
So there it is. And as always on We Hate Movies, there's a new episode right around the corner. Steve Sadak, which episode are we talking? So this is Final Destination.
And oh yeah, get it right this time.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
Lord.
I will get it right or pay the price. We're actually continuing our Sean William Scott Love Fest because next week we are talking about Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, crap.
Oh, that is episode. I guess it's going to be episode 420.
It very well could be.
There it is. Is that true? Is that actually a true thing?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. If we plan that, we're pretty smart. So until next week, where someone's a dude and something else is sweet, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Chris Cabin.
Eric Siska.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.